Hey everybody. Get my right scenes turned on here. Well, 96L is no more. They have totally dropped it. Last night, hey Southpaw. Last night, remember I told you that they had dropped it down to 20%. And on my personal opinion, I dropped it down to 10%. Well, guess what? Overnight, they dropped it down to 10%. And now, as you can see, tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 48 hours. Hey, Jane, Jennifer. So, as of right now, we have nothing in the Atlantic. We do have some tropical waves, but, my high hopes for 96L, I think I killed it. Like I killed 95L, Hurricane Eric, Hurricane Flossie, even Gil, tropical depression now. I think I killed it too. Sort of like I killed my namesake, Hurricane Barry. So I don't know if I want to keep doing these for hurricane season because it seems I'm like I've killed them. Dadgummit it. I'll go ahead and show you the Eastern Pacific here. And there's Gil. It's dropped down to a tropical depression at 30 mile per hour. They don't even have a cone on it now. Oh, yes, they do. But due west. That's not going to do anything. Okay? Now let's go to Central Pacific. Way past Hawaii. This is what was Hurricane Eric. Now, it's just a depression. And we'll look at Flossie. Still headed for Hawaii. The tropical storm right now. But it's going to drop down to a depression too. Yeah, Jen, I know. But we're not done yet. We're actually just now getting in to the ramp up of hurricane season. It's not going to peak until the first part of September. So we got plenty of time, man. Go ahead and show you water vapor mode. This is pretty interesting. We have several tropical waves. I'll show you in a minute. That's coming across. Notice that what was the Bermuda High is spinning backwards. So the Bermuda High has moved out. It's now down in here somewhere. Break this down because it's a little baby high. And now we have a low. It's up here. Watch it spin. Pretty cool. Let me go ahead and blow this up full screen for you guys. Make it a little bit easier to see. Yeah, I'm getting kind of antsy too, and I know Nathan is. Which, by the way, there's a chance that Nathan might have a chase tomorrow and Tuesday. Again, if you haven't been following me, all that brown, goldish brown color, that's dry air. Now zoom in on what's left of 96L. Yeah, I know. He's in the right area for this time of year. Yeah, it is real boring here in Ohio. At least today, even though it got fairly hot, the humidity was way down, 30s, 40s. But there's what left of 96L. And like I was saying last night, it had to fight Saharan desert dust, which brings along the dry air. It is moving into warmer waters, but the shear is killing it. Is killing it. You can see she's got some blow off around the top here, but watch these clouds on the south side. They're pushing southwest. That's your wind shear, blowing it. And notice how the cold tops just disintegrate. That's the shear blowing the tops off of it. Now here's another wave. This is one that about 3 or 4 nights ago looked real strong over Africa. But as it came off, the desert dust got to it. So I don't have any hopes for this tropical wave at all. Now here's the next wave, and another one right behind it. But there again, notice where most of the clouds are going. They're not spinning, going south. Now this is water vapor mode, by the way. So let me zoom back out. Let's go infrared. It'll take a little bit to load everything up here. Go back and zoom in on remnants of 96L. There is a little spin, not much. Here is the next wave. Now the bright colors, those are the cold tops. The colder the top, the taller it is. So the brighter the colors. Now look at the white. Look what direction it's going. Wind shear. Blowing it right apart. Next wave. It's actually two separate waves. But there again, upper level winds, see the greens and blues going north, and the low level clouds are going south. Wind shear. Just killing it. As far as the next wave, nothing real strong coming off of Africa. So I would say for the next several days, we're not going to have any activity in the Atlantic whatsoever. There's still a lot of, I'll pause this here. It's a little hard to see. It's easier to see with visible satellite. But in this area here, a lot of Saharan dust. And all in this area where the storms are, which notice how they're kind of bulging south. That's the wind shear. So we got upper level winds going that way, lower level winds going that way. Nope, we ain't got a darn thing yet. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what this next wave over here does. It's really small, but I'm not, getting a full view from the satellite. It could maybe have a chance, but we got to clear out the Saharan desert dust and all this dry air that's swirling around out there. Now, this is not clouds. Let me freeze this here. Program quit working. Okay. I'll do red. See how milky looking? On it? It acts like it's trying to freeze on me. See how milky looking this is? That's Saharan dust. Not usually this prevalent at this time of the year. Usually it starts fading out, which it has somewhat. And one thing that's not really helped as far as steering 96L up is that high mode. When that high was up in this area around Bermuda, that would normally help steer a storm up here where the warmer waters is. But now that that's moved, and what happened? Actually, the last models that I looked at last night actually had 96L headed over towards the Panama Canal. Okay, 96L's down here. The last models that I seen had it going this way. And part of the reason for that is one, this front pushed it down, which brought a bunch of weather on the East Coast several days ago. This low right here, and the fact that the high is moved down here. So that's where the last models was trying to steer it. And it just, as you can see there, look at that brown where my red line goes. It's steering it right into dry air. And again, the wind shear. But yeah, that low out there, that's pretty cool looking. That's pretty impressive. It's not doing anything, just pretty much staying there. Not any strong thunderstorms in it. It's just impressive. Now, as far as the Pacific goes, let me go to goes west and load up all the frames. Yeah, if the Saharan dust would go further south, then possibly the storms would have a better chance. They would be weaker as they come off the coast, but They're also weaker because it's only about 72-degree water off the coast of Africa right now. So they have to get further west and start running into warmer water. And if they don't have the stupid dry air to kill it and the shear. Okay, here's what's left of Eric. You can see what the models are saying it's going to do. We switch to. Hey, thanks for the biddies. Look at this low up here. Now, back in the spring, and I was saying this last night, back in the spring, I would look for a low upper level spin like this because that would be traveling towards the United States and would give us tornadoes and some nice storm chases. But you can see this one is just sitting there, not doing nothing. So anyway, let's get back to infrared. Okay, I just got an update on Eric, and they really shortened down the forecast. Come on, load up. Actually, look what Eric's doing. The center of circulation is traveling west, slightly north of west. But look where all the storms are going. Northeast. Right over the other islands of Hawaii. Now this is Flossie. Right there is Flossie. Look where all the storm clouds are. But look real close. Look where the center is. Can y'all see that? It's really faint. Look where the spin is. Real faint clouds. That's the center of Flossie. So now it's fighting shear because all the storm clouds are up in the northeast of it. I love satellite. I learned so much about what's going on in the atmosphere that a lot of times the models don't show this kind of stuff. I mean, to visibly see that, just like last night. I'm on the GOES West, Jen. Infrared with GOES turned on. And I've got a customized color table for infrared. Shows up a lot brighter for being able to do demonstrations on live stream. Now we do have a bunch of storms that's down here in the warmer waters. But this is Gil. And if I zoom in on it, you can see some spin in the low level clouds. But those bright colors, that's the cloud tops. And look how they're just getting blowed away from it. These here in the east are going south, and the other ones are getting blowed off to the northeast. That's okay, armchair. Don't worry about my Nightbot. I got to get rid of that. It just didn't like your caps. Sorry about that. I got to see it though. Yeah, SVL rocks. And there is another wave or the Pacific, we got to keep an eye on. There's actually a couple of them here. Yeah, I haven't been keeping an eye over around Japan and Taiwan. I know Hong Kong got nailed with a typhoon the other day. Yeah, yeah, Nightbot's a bitch. Bad bot. I need to get rid of it. So that's what's going on in the tropics. Now, I haven't looked at the models for tomorrow because I don't want to jinx it. But I watched Nathan's stream earlier, and he did mention possible chase, probably close to home. I was hoping he would get a hurricane uh, before he had to stop his long distance chase. He's got a blackout for his vacation time till early September. I think September 3rd. So soon he won't be doing any uh, long chases. He'll just be doing close ones. Yeah, you know, I got a habit of using periods a lot too. Interesting. What's going on here in Florida? I see a funnel or a tornado report. Let's see what it says. I have to back up here. It was an observed tornado. Oh, it started out as a water spout over Cujo Bay. Hey, Doc. Yeah, Florida's really getting hammered. Turn on radar. Satellite off. Now, I was kind of keeping an eye on a storm up here in Nebraska. It's really fell apart. Go back some frames here. This thing was really strong. This is northern Nebraska, north of North Platte. This thing was pretty strong. And it started getting a hook on the backside there. Let me switch over to analysts and go back. Now there you can see a couple different areas of rotation pretty tight. Now I was kind of keeping my eye on that. It did produce here 56 mile per hour wind. There ended up being another report. Uh, yeah, okay. Ended up did be a 60 mile per hour wind report, but not looking too good now. Thanks for the follow, Doc. Thanks, Christine. I just got that. So that's pretty much it for tonight. Not a whole heck of a lot going on. Daggone East Pacific. I mean, we got all these tropical waves. Yeah, Jen, I seen you playing around with it earlier. I didn't get to watch it long because I had to start getting ready and going through the models for this thing. Yes, GR2 Analyst, you can buy it and use the free service. The best way to use it is also pay for Allison House, and that gives you some more toys to use an analyst. But you can get by with the free site. Yeah, sure, Jen. GR3 is the same way. You know, you can use the free site for your data, but your warnings will come in kind of late, and you're pretty much stuck with that. The data, the radar data, sometimes will be kind of late. Where if you also use the Allison House along with either GR3 or Analyst, you get the radar data a lot quicker. You get the warnings a lot quicker, and plus you have extra place files, you know, like lightning and stuff that you can use. Yeah, I had to let my Allison House expire. I only paid for 6 months, and it's been a while since I uh, got the donations to get that started again. But I still have my GR Earth, and it's not bad. Uh, GR Earth is only 15 a month, and if you get the Storm Chaser package and use that with Analyst and GR3, that's 11.99 a month. There are some things that analysts don't have in it right off the bat, like storm tracks. You have to go through and put in information into the logarithm and then tell it to put a track on it. Uh, where GR3 automatically has the storm tracks motion. GR3 also gives you more information when you're looking at the hail markers, where analysts will just give you a size. It don't give you the percentage of possibility. So that's the reason why I use both. Because there's a lot of things you can't do with GR3 that I could do with analysts, like normalized rotation. Yeah, I think we've tried that at one time at Indiana ChaserCon. We talked to, gosh, I can't think of his name. Yeah, you can get a free trial. I don't think it's a whole month, but yeah, we could try that again, Jen. And but his son runs that. It's the dad that comes to Indy ChaserCon. Now, GR Earth is totally run by a separate company now. But hopefully, here by next month, I'll have Allison House again. I need donations to help me out. I've also got some equipment upgrade I gotta do. I lost one of my 11 monitors. It's dead horse. So I gotta get that replaced. Yeah. I got a 12th one, but I ain't got no way to mount it yet. I gotta make my own mount. Which I did that for number 11. Oh, as much as I do, I can't get by with all that on two monitors. No way. When I wasn't live streaming and I was only helping one chaser, it wasn't so bad. But sometimes I help several chasers on several different channels. Plus, I got the streaming PC, security PC, so I need all them. Um, the dead monitor was a 15. I don't want to replace it with anything less than a 22. I have four 24s and one, two, three 22s, two 19s, two 15s. Well, one 15 left. Yeah, those 22s aren't too bad, but being on disability and I've been having issues with my electric bill. I don't know if something's gone wrong with the meter or what, but several people in this complex, their electric bills have been running double of what they was a year ago and the year before. Actually, I would love to replace all the smaller ones with 24s. I've got four 24s already, and if I made everything I got 24s, of course I'd have to make more room, but I could make a monitor wall. Yeah, a lot of dry air in the southern hemisphere. Yes, there is. Yeah, there is. Let me bring it back. Water vapor. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Tons of dry air down there. Now that's not affecting us. That's not going to affect us at all. It does kind of hinder over here in the Pacific, but not much. Yeah, I've got, I think, one monitor that I've had since '07. Actually, probably longer than that. It's an old Dell. I have one Samsung monitor. It's a 22. Yeah, yeah, the brown, that's dry air. I got some other equipment that I need to get replaced besides the monitors. Hey, thanks for the biddies. Appreciate it, Armchair. It all helps, man. I was past due at my goal that I got there at the top for paying for my internet and some equipment. That's past due, and I'm only at 15.13%. Yeah, every monitor that I got uh, has mount, where I can mount it to a wall. Even the little 15s that I got, except for the one that I'm not using. That's actually a little 14. It don't have the Vista mount, but all these other monitors that I use, they've all got Vista mount. Matter of fact, that's how they're all mounted on racks. Uh, Four monitors in the center. Let me bring a picture up here. Where'd it go? That gonna somebody asked me about my setup. It's not a recent picture. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, 1080p HD is it's all I use. I'm not going after 4K. Yeah, it's in the intro, but it doesn't show the number 11. In the right folder. God, I got so many folders. Okay, this does not show um, the one I got mounted on the left side of me over on the wall. And this bottom one here, these two were 19s. This bottom one is now on the wall, and I replaced that with a 22. This top one in the top right, that's the one that died on me. So I'm only running 10 right now. But these four center ones, those are 24s, and that's what I always call the four rack. This is one rack that holds all four, and those are all screwed into the Vista mount. And then there's one stand over here that holds these two, and that top one I actually made a mount to clamp on the top of that rack. Now over here on the left, this very top one is actually on a wall mount with a swivel, and the bottom two are on a two rack. It's one rack holding two monitors. And then the one that's you can't see that's mounted on the wall over here, that's actually, on a swivel wall mount. And I still don't have enough monitors. Right now, I have two of the monitors dedicated to a security system with two cameras because we've had some issues here in the complex lately. And then I've got two dedicated to the streaming PC, and all the others I use on the main that I run radar and stuff on. Yeah, I need if I can, like I say, get 10 24 inch and make a monitor wall, it would be like what you see on news channels or the Weather Channel. That you could see the lines, for each monitor. They take the bezels off, the black frame around it, and all mount it together, and then they have a box that's like $3,000 that takes all those monitors and makes it one huge display, and then I could just use everything like it was on one monitor. But that's a long way down the road. I'd have to meet some rich old woman that loves weather. Okay, is there any questions? Sorry, it's been a little boring. I mean, I can't help it that all these tropical stars are just dying. Yeah, all the wires. It's a complex wiring system. Uh, on the four rack, those four monitors are plugged in to the main computer, which has dual matching video cards. The other monitors that's on the main are going through adapters that's plugs in through the USB ports. So I have to have uh, multiple adapters that's made by Pluggable that the other monitors plug into and plug right into the USB port. I run two 7 port USB hubs. One's internal and one's external, and I use most of the plugins on it. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I got one of these adapters handy, but I don't think I do. Nope. I'm using them all. Those were like 60, $70 a piece. And it works great. The problem is with a lot of monitors plugged into the USB ports, it does tend to bog down the graphics cards. So part of an upcoming upgrade that I want to do is two new video cards, and they're about $300 a piece, and I need two of them. Then I would have the graphics power to handle more monitors. Because each one of those new cards uh, could actually run 4 monitors on their own. So that would take care of 8 monitors. And so, I'd have all those USB to HDMI adapters that would let me add a lot more monitors. So let's go check something here. This is the winch here. So what's left of 96L is right in this area. So it's running right into that shear. And if it turned north, it'd run into even more. Now, if it ever got up here in the Gulf, it wouldn't have quite as much shear until it made landfall. That's the current wind shear right now. Yeah, Jen, get with me sometime this week and we'll get your GRers straightened out. By the way, that siren sound whenever there's a tornado warning, I changed that on mine. I actually recorded my voice saying tornado warning. And it plays that instead of that real loud siren. And it's not near as loud. And of course, I had to edit the file a little bit. Yeah, the siren is just so loud. At one point, I did go in and edit that file and lowered the volume on it and then saved it out. But it gets to where it's annoying. I leave GR Earth run 24/7 on the top right of my 4 rack. And when I'm trying to sleep, that stupid siren would wake me up all the time. Where I tend to sleep, through my own voice. So when it says tornado warning, then my brain ignores that. Doesn't wake me up. So with that, it's after 9 o'clock my time. I'm going to call it short. This is going to be my last broadcast as far as 96L. I kind of plan on taking a couple days off, to tell you the truth. I got some things I got to get done. And yeah, I could change it to a ringtone. I know how to edit that. But anyway, I got some official business to tend to over the next couple of days. But if Nathan does chase, then I'll most likely be helping him, and I will broadcast that. But other than that, unless another invest shows up, I don't plan on doing any more streaming for tropical weather because they just ain't nothing happening. But if something cool pops up, I will let you know. So thanks everybody for joining me. And y'all have a good night. Thanks for the donation. And we'll catch you on the next chase. Hopefully tomorrow.